What's up? I'm Bern. This is Haas, and we're talking the Alliance of American Football.
That's right. It's the Allies podcast starting now.
Hey, Haas.
Hey, Bern. Say, you seem very excited today, but it can't just be for seeing me. What are you excited about?
I'm excited because it's Memes Day.
Memes Day? Is that like our new Wednesday?
It should
Memes
be.
Day.
It should be. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Memes Day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I love it. We'll just flip the W upside down.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be Meds Day,
Yeah.
but...
Every day is Meds Day for me.
Okay, with your cuckoo pills. All right, so it's Memes Day. I'm super excited. We have a set of 10 again that we've pulled that we get to talk about.
Yeah.
The second half of this show that we're hoping to keep under 15 minutes today. Think we can do it?
Mm-hmm. I think we can, sure.
First, though, we have to talk about the news this week with the AAF.
Yes, things have been happening.
Yes. We already did our episode on the games. That was our week 2 recap. And then everyone started talking about the games, but there was this piece of news that came out. And, I called you yesterday morning and I was like super fired up about it. And we both got a ton of messages about this particular news.
Yeah, everyone that knew that we were into the AAF was almost like hating on us. Like, I got tons of messages like, see, the league's in trouble.
Okay, why don't you give a quick synopsis of what has occurred, and then I'm going to go on a super quick rant about it.
Sure. Okay, so the news that came out to the public eye on Tuesday morning was that the league, the AAF, needed a bailout, is what it was being branded as, of $250 million to make payroll, which is, again, it was negatively positioned that they needed the $250 million specifically to make payroll for week 2 and that they had missed week 1's payroll. Now, I know we talked about it last week, but the payroll for the entire year is close to $30 million. So that's quite a bit more.
For the players.
Now, yes, for the players. And that's salary only. That doesn't include their, whatever expenses, travel, feeding them, I don't know.
Coaches, all the staff.
Yeah, coaches.
There's lots that goes
but
into
still,
it.
That's plenty of money. Okay, let me hear what you have to say about that, because we talked a lot about it, but I want to hear it from you directly.
Okay, so more of the background is that the investor that came on was Tom Dundon, who's the majority owner of the Hurricanes.
NHL
Carolina Hurricanes, yep. And, okay, so I see this article, it's from The Athletic, which I kind of don't like The Athletic. I mean, they're not necessarily known for having the most compelling and accurate articles, and I think any site that has to have a paywall tends to lean more like sensational headlines to get you through. You know what I mean? It's hard to get people to, there's so much info available, like, why are people going to pay, right? So
I have a different take on The Athletic, but I don't think it changes this story. Go ahead.
I don't love The Athletic. No offense, The Athletic, but also be offended. So anyways, I see this story, and I guess maybe it's not The Athletic as a whole, but I really don't like that it is purely a negative spin on the topic. And it takes like a source quote, which I found to be like very... I hated this quote. Let me pull it up really quick. From a source said that all talking about like people getting their paychecks late, and you can't really get players on the field if they're not going to see money in their bank account. And it felt so buzzwordy. I think that's what pissed me off more. Not necessarily The Athletic or the sources or anything like that, but just like all the buzzwords surrounding like bailout. The AAF is already needing money. All of these sources are telling us that people are worried that they're not going to get their paychecks, and our players going to actually show up on Sunday. That's like super smear campaigny to me, and I didn't like the feel of that. If we found out that later on Tuesday that we start getting a lot of stuff coming out from We get quotes from Dundon and the AAF, and it's starting to feel like it should have felt from the beginning, which is that this is super positive. They got a $250 million investment. The leadership knows math. They didn't just come out in the first, they didn't launch their startup season thinking that they were going to, cover all of their expenses with commercials and ticket sales. Like, that's not what the plan ever was. They came out with a big week one. They got ratings. The fan base grew exponentially and it took off. And I bet you anything that there were probably more investors trying to come in the first week. And it was like a sign on the dotted line issue that was happening. Not so much, we need money, we're calling in a bailout SOS, and that story just spun it that way. I think it's too easy for like people who are just getting into the AAF to be able to say like even some of the people that are skeptical now because of this, it's too easy to say like, oh, the AAF, they're the ones that needed a bailout in week 1, week 2. Like, it's kind of BS, you know what I mean? And it's all because of a crappy article.
Yeah. The first thing I said when you and I raised the issue, and I said XFL. Somehow they got caught wind of it or whatever and pushed it because it's so easy to attack. They know they're a league that's already experienced a failure to say, okay, spring football, developmental league, boom. Let's just take this and say fledgling league. I saw the word fledgling in every single article I read, I think. Fledgling. Like, there was like certain things that were just like, here's how we're going to position this. I don't know how they do that with the press, but I mean, Vince McMahon is pretty talented. I'm not saying it has to be from XFL, but it was a strange scenario. The whole thing was strange.
You know that I'm obsessed with turning articles into glass. Like, I like to look through them and figure out, like, what's behind this? Who's this writer? Why are they doing this? And I'm not saying that I can be certain, but I'm with you. Like, I picked up on stuff that totally seemed like a press release went out, like, internally and said, hey, this is what we're going to go for, like, the big jab of the week to the AAF, and you see it in a lot of negative articles. It's like the same lines are being used over and over again to make the league look bad.
Well, so in our theory, XFL sees the first week of success. The press they're getting, obviously they've already hired 400 players away from the player pool that the XFL will have. They got there first, which many times is all that matters. So they see that week, they see or hear of the investment, and you think it's as simple as saying to your closest staffers, like, yeah, here's how we want to position this. Go talk to any of your sources that'll listen in the media. And boom, it just takes 1 or 2 people to latch on to the fact that payroll was missed or whatever in week 1. And then stories. Because as soon as one person picks it up that's reputable, whether that's Athletic or whatever, like, you saw it everywhere from the aggregators.
Exactly.
The Deadspins, the Bleacher Reports, everything, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a snowball downhill, and the message is harder to control at that point.
But, like, Deadspin 2 is another example of, if you go to Deadspin's site and search in AAF, like, they're 90% negative articles on AAF. And so you just have to keep that in mind when you're reading stuff. Is there bias at certain news distributors? Do they have... I'm just saying. I'm not gonna say that everything's gonna always be positive with the AAF, but when we're seeing like this continuity across different platforms, and the verbiage is the same, like fledglingly and stuff like that, it's just questionable. That's all.
I mean, as with any article, especially ones with the AAF, since we're talking about on this podcast, the best thing to always remember is who benefits from this article being written and distributed, and it's easy to kind of backtrack that. Okay, so thank you for Dundon. That's a positive thing. I mean,
super positive.
It just as easily could be, I've seen Ebersol come out, the president, co-founder of AAF, and say, hey, we're a startup. We're going to do multiple series like many tech startups do of investing. And like you said, it could have been signed on the dotted line thing. So it's $250 million. Like, if anything, people should be, okay, whatever you want to say about week 1 or week 2 payrolls, this stabilizes the league big time. Big time.
Yeah, I mean, his quotes were like, once I saw the AAF, I wanted to invest. I mean, we're looking at something that doesn't have any comparables. The XFL was not comparable. You're talking to investors as like a startup trying to say, hey, you should invest this much, but it's all on projection. So it's not a surprise that they wanted to see performance in week 1 and 2. And then I think people were coming after it. Even there's quotes of Dundon saying, like, I'm the only guy. Like, we're not going to let other investors come in. I believe in this. I want to build it. He's not just building to sell. He wants to build it up. I think this is hugely positive. And if this would have came out as good news first before a couple of what I think are just smear articles, then I think everyone would have been very amped. But just a quick shout out, not a shout out, but like a burn to some of the fans that are already fair weather fans of the AAF. Come on, like they see one article and I'm like, oh gosh, I knew this was gonna happen. But I'm looking through your threads and I'm seeing how much you were jockeying the AAF in week 1 and 2, and you can't just be fair weather on the league. Like if you're here and you're a fan, then you need to hang, okay? Like we're gonna go through growing pains and negative press, and you're here with us, all right? We're not gonna go into panic mode and run out the door when one bad thing is said. That's not how this is gonna work. We're in this, right?
There could be a lot of bad things said over the next few years, even with the two leagues. I mean, let's say this wasn't the XFL. I'm totally fine with that. Let's say it was a very legit thing that happened with payroll and they needed the money. Let's say all that's true. There's going to be some ugliness between the two leagues in the next few years. And especially as the AAF's getting started up. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen anything else yet, honestly. So
yeah.
Let's talk memes. Let's talk memes.
I got all warm from that conversation. I need to like cool off with some memes now, huh?
Yeah. All right. We got 10 good ones. We pulled mostly from the AAF_football thread. We have 2 that do not come from there, just so you know. So we're always repping that thread, and want to credit that thread also. We'll try to say the users' names like we did last week. All right. Why don't you kick it off since you were working on your sultry voice? Why don't you give our intro here?
I think you should do it.
Sultry?
No. Okay, well, yeah, let's hear your sultry voice. I actually want to hear it.
I need to get some whiskey. Okay. Number 10.
Oh my God. That was way better than I thought.
Number 10 is actually a good one because it's a segue from what we just talked about. A little broadcast magic there. Vince McMahon in the XFL. What's this guy's name from Despicable Me? I can never remember. And Minions. Is it
Gru?
Gru. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Gru. He's got his little master plan. And the headline is Vince picked the wrong league to feud with. Talking about Vince McMahon in the XFL. And his master plan says, I decide to feud with the AAF. I spread a rumor that they're broke. And then he's got his little like evil fingers. And it says, the AAF receives $250 million. And then he looks over at the board again. And the last board says, oh no, the AAF receives $250 million. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like a total failed villain scheme.
Yeah, the faces make it. All right. Number 9. Another one about our news breaking here. You want to explain this one?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. First one is posted by Shamrock 5. Okay. Back to number 9.
Okay. This one is from user _Nageek_. And it is it says friend. A friend says, you hear about that investor in the AAF? And then it says me. I say, oh yeah, Tom. And then it's the Law and Order sign.
Do you know what that means?
Is it like the start of the show? It's like, then the music would hit.
Yeah, but what's the music sound like?
Dun dun. Oh!
Did you know?
I did not get that till now. Oh yeah, Tom Dun Dun Dun. How did I not get that? Okay, that is amazing.
I know, it's a good one. It's a good one. Good job, Nageek, if you actually created it. If not, thanks for sharing.
Okay, it's you hear about that investor in the AAF. Oh yeah, Tom.
Dun dun.
Yeah. Okay, I love it.
All right.
Next one.
Number 8.
Oh, this is what you put as number 8? This was probably the best one.
Well, I kept the 3 that had to do about the XFL together.
Smart move. Okay.
I mean about the investment, I should say, not the XFL. This one's great.
Yes. Okay, so this is a picture of Wait, did you say the username? It's Spaz McNasty.
Oh man, that might be my favorite username yet.
Okay, this is the image. The title is "I was prepared to save the AAF." And if you've been living under a rock and do not know who this image is, it's an image from the Fry Festival. This one's from Netflix, and it's of. This is Andy, right?
Yeah,
Is
but
it?
wait,
Yeah.
did you just say the Fry Festival?
Oh wait, fire! Oh my god.
I want to go to the Fry Festival though.
I'm hungry.
I
This
am
is the
too.
third episode that I've talked about food instead of actually reporting on what we need to, these important memes.
I'm hungry also. It's
Okay,
lunchtime.
so
Yeah.
you explain this from here
Yeah,
on.
it's the guy. Is it Andy? Is that his name? Yeah, he was prepared to fillet like a border guard to get his water into the festival. He was prepared, so he was also prepared to save the AAF. You can draw whatever conclusions you want.
Oh, that
All
was
right.
so good.
Gotta keep it moving here. Number 7. Oh, this is one of your selections. It's a good one.
Yeah, I like this one because I've seriously been jockeying the mics. Like I really like the mics. But okay, what this is a picture of is it's a Trojan horse, and above the Trojan horse says the Trojan horse is representing mics in the helmets to immerse the viewers in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And what's hidden inside the Trojan horse is swear words and loud grunting.
And the AAF is welcoming him with open arms.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
I love it so much.
Hey, you can't have the Trojan horse without the swear words and the loud grunting. I mean, if you have the mics, that's what you're gonna get.
Yep.
All right, number 6. Aw, this is ours.
I had to add this one. Hawes did this and it really cracked me up when I saw it. I saw it in like the middle of the night and I just died laughing. So even though I'm a total ally and I don't pick any sides, the Atlanta Legends posted on Twitter, they had the word "yeah" written out, and it has the A in crowns. And then
The question originally was like, someone else tweeted like, "Do you know who to root for?" And they tweeted like a map of the country, and so
Yes.
the Atlanta Legends were encouraging people to root for them.
Yep, with the word "yeah," but the A's and these massive, it's spelled out in crowns.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hawes replied with crowns, which how long did this take to make? All of these crowns.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay, with crowns in 0 and 2. And it's pretty good. It was a great response. It was funny.
It's the most royal losing record ever.
I like it. You did great on that.
Thank you. We need more Twitter followers, by the way. At AAF Allies. At AAF Allies on Twitter. We're up to 30 now, which is much an improvement from last week when we had 4.
Hey, let's do an impromptu giveaway. If you are on Monday, so that'll be Monday the 25th. Is that what day Monday is? We will, at 5 p.m. Eastern, we will pick one of our Twitter followers, and whoever is chosen, we'll choose it at random, and we'll buy you anything, one item of your choice from the AAF shop.
Do they have an AAF shop? Man, I'm a bad
Hell
fan.
yeah.
Is
They
it
have
cool?
awesome stuff on there. Yes, it's so great. But most of it's been out of stock because guess what? Everyone's a fan now and they're just buying up everything.
I've been stuck at the Fry Festival this whole time. I hadn't had a chance to look to look at the shop.
Poutine fries. You've got buffalo fries.
I'm hungry.
Oh, gosh.
Stop.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah,
That's
the giveaway.
That's
So
very cool.
So you have to be following our Twitter at AAF Allies to be picked. And then we'll just DM you whoever we pick. Right now, the odds are really good. You have a 30-1 chance. Actually, with us there, our moms, you probably, Antonio Bryant, I'd count you and Antonio Bryant, but you decided to follow, then unfollow us.
Oh, that little.
Can't win.
Dude,
So,
they got starter jackets. These are cool.
Yeah, they have great gear. Like, and the most expensive item, I think, is like $160. So the most that you could win through this giveaway, if you wanted that particular item, would be a $160 item. It's totally worth it. All you have to do is follow us at AAF Allies.
All
Okay.
right, AAF allies, and maybe I'll replace my own Mighty Ducks starter jacket from 1994 with one of these for the Apollos. Ooh, sorry, I'm rambling here, looking at
Okay,
this.
you're shopping. Moving on.
Yes.
All right. Number 5.
Oh, thank you. This one made me chuckle. It's from the user Red5478 telling Antonio that we're gonna keep bad mouthing him until he follows us again. He keeps DMing you or something over there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Antonio. Let me text him. Antonio, sorry. You made your mistake. Now you have to live with it.
You
All
do
right,
not.
sent.
You do not get a starter jacket.
Okay, so who will be the biggest loser is the title. And right now the biggest loser is Antonio Bryant because he unfollowed all our Twitter. But in this case scenario, we have the first biggest loser contestant has a Salt Lake Stallions logo on its head. The second biggest loser contestant has the Memphis Express logo on its head. And the third, can you guess it, biggest loser has the Atlanta Legends logo on its head.
Who was last in our power rankings on Monday?
It was the Atlanta Legends.
Yep, I think that's my
Yeah.
answer. That's my answer. Okay, number 4. This one is funny.
I thought this was funny. It was a little okay. I'm gonna explain this one if that's all right.
Okay.
Okay, this isn't really a meme, but it was a good joke in AAF_football subreddit. Okay, so posted by user Fighting Golden Devils, and this is why it could be insensitive. The title is in bold breaking brackets. It says breaking in bold or caps, all caps, sorry. And then the title is Zach Stacy injures back. And so I read that in my newsfeed and I was like, oh, what? Stacy injured his back? How did I miss this news? But then the subline is the Memphis running back ruptured a disc carrying Christian Hackenberg for an entire effing football game.
It's true. Two
I thought
football
that was
games
so
now.
Funny. I know. He really did. He really did carry him.
It's a good joke. Good post. I saw
good.
a lot of people on the thread. Like one of the first or top comments was, "I thought this was for real. Thank God." Like a lot of people read it and didn't read it thoroughly. It's good. It's very good. All right, number 3. This is one of my faves. This is from Red5478. I wonder if he created all these. He's the second time on the list. Red. It says as a headline, when other winning teams realize they are missing someone, and it's the scene from Shawshank Redemption where they realize Andy Dufresne's missing, and the police or the jail warden's looking out the hole from his room into the tunnel he dug, and it's the 3 other teams, the Legends, Express, and Stallions, who are still winless. And then you just see Andy Dufresne as the San Diego Fleet on the bottom frame, just rejoicing in his freedom with his win in the rain.
God.
It's good.
That is so good.
It's good. Number 2. Oh my gosh, another Shining one.
I love this one.
We're the Shining fans on the memes review. It's from XX Bulls 3Y3XX.
And it
so
says,
it's Bulls. Oh, it's Bullseye. Look at that. Man. It's XX Bullseye XX.
oh gosh, you get so hung up on the usernames. We don't have time for this. We have to get to the memes.
Okay.
Title is, you say it.
It's not Johnny.
Okay, so we have the classic scene again. The axe is coming through the door. Shelley Duvall, is that her last name we decided? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, her character is saying, who's there? And then out pops from the door Owen. And then
It's Owen
bottom.
Wilson.
It's Owen Wilson.
It's very,
Yep.
very handsome, loving shot of Owen Wilson.
And then
Okay.
she's saying, Owen who? And then it's the Salt Lake Stallions image with the My Little Pony on it. And it says Owen 2.
Pretty good.
That's a good one. I like that one.
No, it's great.
Owen 2.
Which leads us to our last one, and it was
I
a
love
user
this.
submission, or
We
not
need
a
more
user. They're all
GIF
user
memes.
submissions,
We
but this
need
was sent
more
us.
GIF.
This was sent directly to us.
Yes.
which is awesome, on Twitter. And it's very funny. We actually talked about this guy, Taylor Bertolette. So it's from at AAF Observant on Twitter. I'm not sure if that's his username on Reddit, but it doesn't matter. He's awesome. He sent us this. Taylor Bertolette, SpongeBob, Squidward, and you describe it.
Okay, it's the scene where Squidward is trying to blow a bubble and he doesn't know how to blow a bubble, if you've actually seen this episode. And so he's trying to blow the bubble and he's Taylor Bertolette, and every time he's trying to push this bubble out, the captions keep coming up that say, one more field goal. Literally, one more field goal. And he just can't get the bubble off of the wand, but he's trying so he's trying so hard to get it off, and he can't.
And then it just bloop and falls to the ground at the end.
Yes.
It's very sad and pathetic, and it kind of reminded me of Taylor Bertolette's game.
It really reminded me of it. And I thought it was a really well done GIF.
It was. And it was awesome that it was sent directly to us. We appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to be back on Monday with a full episode reviewing week 3.
Yes.
We are also on Monday now going to give away the user's choice in the AAF shop, which is awesome, to our what number? Or we're going to pick someone at random.
Yeah, we're going to pick somebody at random. Yep.
Okay, cool. And we are actually going to release a kind of a quickie episode too, all about the allocation process, because people have been asking about that. So we're going to do like a really quick explainer on how the allocation process works in the AAF and what the draft was all about. People are confused. Some people, lots of people have it down, but we figured it'd be good to have a resource out there.
We've had lots of questions about it, and Haas did a really great episode explaining how the allocation works, so definitely listen into that.
That'll come out later this week. It'll be shorter. Won't be a full episode. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah,
right?
and I know if you're just listening, which we're available everywhere now, iTunes, Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
Podbean, everywhere.
Yeah. Spotify.
We're globally.
Google, Stitcher.
Everywhere. You can find us anywhere you download your podcast.
We're here to stay. We're here to stay.
Okay, cool.
All
right. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll catch you on Monday for sure, and later this week, something else.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye.